Rhine will not keep the Allies out. No greater gallantry has been displayed in any action in any war than by airborne forces during the battle for the Rhine crossings in Holland. As you watch these new pictures of the descent of part of the Allied Army of the Air, you'll see evidence of some of the dangers inherent in such an operation. Though the majority of paratroops and glider-borne troops get down safely, there are crashes and bad landings. These are risks taken before ever coming to grips with the enemy on the ground. In addition, airborne troops are, comparatively speaking, only lightly armed, and landing behind the enemy's lines, they face the prospect of engaging fully equipped, heavily armed forces, plus all the hazards of an isolated operation. In Holland, the chief objectives were to secure the crossings of the three rivers of the Rhine Delta, the Maas, the Waal, and the Lower Rhine, or Lech. The 1st Airborne Division was undertaking the most dangerous task of all, to secure and hold the bridge or bridges across the Lower Rhine at Arnhem. These men were the furthest north. They would obviously be the last to link up with the Second Army. As we know, that link-up couldn't be effected. Contact was made, but not in sufficient strength. These are the first pictures to be received from the area of Oosterbeek and Arnhem itself. They were taken by Army Film Unit cameramen between the 18th and the 22nd of September, and they show men of the 1st Airborne Division in action at the beginning of their tremendous fight. It was a most heroic battle, during which, though facing overwhelming odds, they held their own. They killed the Hun, they repelled his attacks, they took prisoners. Casualties were heavy, and eventually something between 1,000 and 2,000 of our wounded were left in German hands. The battle raged for 10 days, and during the whole of that time, our men were under continuous fire. Surrounded and cut off, they fought continuously until some 2,000 survivors were withdrawn south of the river. By their invincible spirit and by their sacrifice, they gave incalculable aid to the successes won at the other two crossings. At Grave, the bridge across the Maas had been taken intact, and the Second Army advanced towards the Waal. Thousands of Huns were taken prisoner during the formation of the corridor and during the later widening process. We should never forget the solid success won by the other airborne forces and the Second Army, for these victories were also won by the men of Arnhem, fighting with such guts and tenacity to the north. The triumph at Nijmegen, where the bridges across the Waal were also captured intact, was to a great extent due to the men of Arnhem. The men who actually took this bridge, after a very hard fight, would be the first to pay tribute to the airbornes of Arnhem. This Nijmegen bridge was about to be blown up. We see the demolition charges being removed. And we also see quite clearly what a vital capture this bridge across the wide river undoubtedly was. Yes, 2 out of the 3 crossings were secured. The Second Army had been able to advance some 50 miles across Holland. And although the whole operation falls short of complete success, these are very solid gains.